This is my town called Peaches.
I love the name. I love the name.
You won't like the story behind it. The reason it's Peaches is because my son was in a hurry to play it, and he's like, "Mum, just call it whatever. Just call it." And I had a peach, and I had no idea what this game was all about, so I just said Peaches. So that's it. I love peaches, and
it's stuck from there.
Yeah. And then I got in game and realised there's no peach.
No, not yet.
Don't look at your map, because I don't want... I mean, afterwards you can, but don't look at it before we explore.
All right, good deal.
Okay.
I love this. I love this clock design is awesome.
And a lot of this, before Christmas, all this was built. And this is my famous dock that I flooded twice because it's under the water level. And for some reason I thought like a flower bed. Somewhere I had a flower bed, and I thought, oh yeah, just lift it up, bang, water came in.
Wow.
So twice.
You flooded your dock. I like this. This is a great design with the palm trees. How it's coming up out of the water.
I was probably one of the first people that played around with the trees before it, became the fashion.
Yeah.
You'll see that I try and use a lot of things differently. If you just look at different designs. So this is like the original dock, and I'm like, what am I going to use it for? I just parked my helicopters up there at the moment.
It's
nothing fancy.
It's really well built around though. Most people just leave the dock and leave it as is. So
see, I didn't realise when I first started, I didn't realise you could walk all over the map before your time starts, before putting a tent down. So my son, we said, where do you want the tent? And he goes, anywhere, just put it anywhere. So I did. I just placed them, and I've had to sort of try and work out how the town was going to work.
Yeah.
So this is all original. This is where it all began. So this was like my original storage here, but obviously, that's not enough. And I've always had that cupboard there with the clothes for extra clothing. So when I had visitors, because you get heaps of clothing, and that's what I ended up. I wanted to incorporate the dock in something, so I just decided to put the boats under there.
That's a good idea. I like that. I love how you've kept some of your originality from when you started as well. Not many people do that.
I know, and I can understand why people don't, because it's frustrating.
Yeah.
So, and as you can see, look, John's got no pavers. I still haven't moved him yet underneath him. So this was all original. All this with the statue is new, but this is dedicated to obviously James Bendon, because without this game,
you wouldn't have
just something.
We
wouldn't
what you
have
have.
You.
Yeah, true. Good point. That is true. I love it. See, when you add something static like the statue to something that has a movement like the water fountains, it looks good. It looks clean.
I like the sound of water.
Oh my God, yes.
Not that I play with sound a lot, but
that and rain is calming. So this is, for me, this is a calming spot. I like it.
This is, like I said, a lot of this structure was already here. So this was, the seating area and stuff, and this was my trade skill. Look at it. My old trade skill area. So this is my humble beginnings. This is where it all began.
This is the OG area.
And then you've got my house. you can pop in and have a look. I have to really refurbish it with all the new stuff.
Have you seen my house?
No, no.
Well, in
not
that
really.
case, this is absolutely wow. This is cool. I like the way you've done the kitchen. See, PJ's still asleep, but when she sees this idea, she loves the idea of a house that feels like it's lived in, it's loved, and this is what this is.
Yep. Well, that's why I wanted PJ to come over, because I want you guys to come over on a date over here, and you'll see why.
I can arrange that.
Okay, so this was my original campsite. So it stayed with the rocks and everything. This was all before the rock wand. So all the rocks you see around the town was already here, and I kept them in the design. I didn't get rid of them.
Gotcha.
And this lake was always here. This is the first bridge we laid, and this little area that's in front, the flowers and stuff, my son or Sparky, did you do it? Sparky, did you do it with Sam?
I'm not sure.
Somebody dug the area. It was always dirt.
Right.
It was always dirt, so I just decided to keep it. I don't know if they were just experimenting with dirt or what they were doing, but
No,
it
it's
turned
good.
into
It
something.
it breaks off the pathing and makes it natural.
So this is all like I said, my humble beginnings, but it also, when you first start, that excitement of, oh, what does this do? And so this is all still here. Brings back memories all the time when I walk past here.
This is your experimental phase of, we've just started playing Dinkum. What can this game do for us? I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous so far, and we haven't even,
No, you haven't touched the surface yet, no. And Franklin, I just thought Franklin was a bit odd and a bit, I don't know, I just wanted to experiment with
He's
the
eccentric.
colours, and
Yeah.
he is. So, okay. So this campsite, nowadays it's obsolete because you can make it with the rock wand, but this was another original camp place.
Was this a spawn spot at all, or is it just natural? It was?
No.
Okay.
It's none of this, I didn't make it. This was all here, and yes, dogs still spawn from it. That's why I didn't want to get rid of it. So I've kept it natural. I'll take you through my trade skill area.
Ooh.
I always wanted, this was one of the first projects I worked on. I wanted the bridge across, and I wanted it to be a working bridge as well. And I just decided to put all my trade skills in this one area. It's only little compared to some, but it was sufficient enough for me, and I still use it.
And it worked. I like this. In here in the middle, you can just stand here and run around. That's just I love it. Oh, you've even got a little lamp here.
Yep, because it
ambient
during
lighting.
the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that really
So
looks good to me is that you've staggered the way that the hedging works as well. This is a great idea. That's a great idea.
I've never ever played a game before like this, ever. I played EverQuest, which is a bit like Diablo, really.
Oh my god, my wife and you would get along great for sure. Bloody EverQuest.
And then you can have a look at Rain's little area.
Yeah.
So it all sort of... Now, the footpath, if you have a look at the footpath, it's a it's checkered because we live in Bathurst, where the V8 supercars race every year. So, a bit of a racetrack.
Are lucky. I love that. Bathurst, I haven't seen in years.
And yeah, these are gates too. I just jumped them.
Yeah.
But this is Rain's little area.
I love it. I love how you've put different fruit crates, fruit and vegetable around as well.
For the different textures.
Yep.
Yep. And we'll go back down here. Yeah, they're all working gates. I'm just so used to jumping
over
So
them.
and we just come out here. I always wanted to, like I had it open when I first started. I didn't have this wall here. I had Rain as far back as she is, but I just decided to break it apart. So, you know, when you want to bypass Rains, you can, and you still got a good view. We'll go back over. Please don't look at my museum. My museum needs a revamp. But you know how the museum's one of the first buildings you get?
Absolutely.
I actually paved all this before I had the museum, so I had no idea what size the museum was, and I paved it. Of course, you know, gumwood was everywhere, so
paved it with gumwood.
So this needs a bit of a revamp here, but it's all right.
Oh, I like it. It's nice. Again, so far what I've seen is you've kept the natural landscape as much as you could while bringing in your own designs that you've made, which not many people do.
Yeah, and I had an idea out the back for all the extra fish, but Sparky decided to use something on his island like it, so I went, nope, I'm going to come up with something different now.
No copycat. I like it.
So
this castle style wall is brilliant.
This came after I did the bank, probably a couple of months. Like, it was all done before Christmas. All this was done before Christmas or even Australia Day.
Right.
But I just remember, because I had the bank and the fountain area up there, and I just wanted a different layer, and I wanted like a viewing dock. That's all I sort of had in mind, a viewing area. And that's why I sort of used the steps.
No, it looks really good. When I was building my first castle, I was just using sand for a block, and then I missed the spot, and then the sand, so it looked like, you know, the top of castle walls. But I love this idea even more. Your use of stairs is very smart.
Thank you.
Sorry, Sparky, no room, mate. You can sit on my lap, buddy. You're good.
Hey, you're awfully quiet, Sparky. We should have Aussie over more often.
Can't get a word in edgewise.
You guys are awesome.
So this is, well, did you see the fountain area up here?
Oh, no. Oh, wow.
This was probably one of the first fountains that was shown in Dinkum.
Yep. And I like how you go one up each one. It's like a staggering fountain effect. It's nice. It's creative.
And this was all before we had the diving helmets and things like that.
Where
you sort of had to create it.
Yeah. Yep. Oh my God. Yeah. In that case, before the diving helmet, this wouldn't have been as easy as doing it with for sure.
No way, magpie.
And the story behind the bank was I wanted a spot where I could propagate the flowers. So I decided, I'm going to do like a pyramid type thing. So I still use it to this day. I still come and that's why there's no pattern in it, because I come and
pick your
hack
flowers.
away at the flowers.
Yep. I like the use of the water. It's like a moat all the way around the bank as well.
Well, the reason I had to do that was because remember when we first started and you would pick the flowers, they would fly out into the ocean. So I thought, well, what if I do a channel of water? Will they sort of land in that water first? And they do. They tend to, not nowadays, they land up here on the cement now, but
yeah,
back in the day they used to end up out in the ocean, and like I'd have to go swimming, and I thought this is crazy. So I had to put that water in. Oh, and if you walk down, see how you can see the time?
Yep. So those clocks are clocks are a great addition. They really are.
Yes. Yes. So I had, before the clocks came in, I just had a hedge there, but I wasn't happy. I always wanted to use something. I did try the purple urns, because that was the most decorative thing we had in game back then, was the urn, and I didn't like the urns. So, and then there's like day beds, because you got to have a bed up here next to the water.
Oh, absolutely. For those late night relaxing under the stars. Weather pending, of course.
And this is just Theodore's viewing. I'm not overly fussed with this viewing dock, but Theodore likes it. He comes up and sits up here all the time.
That's his spot. I love it.
Like, okay.
One thing I do like about the NPCs is they do interact a lot with your surroundings, which makes it feel more alive and lived in.
And yeah, they have a bit of character, I think, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though, you know, they don't, but now I'm just wondering, okay, well,
I think Clover's the one with the most character, especially with some of her lines.
yeah.
She does watch me sleep often, but yeah. Oh, speaking of Clover, there she is.
And then you've got, yeah.
Ooh. That's an interesting
Unlike
building
her
back
to pop up out of nowhere when you're talking about it.
there. Isn't it right?
And I've just surrounded her building with the clothes. We've got way too many, and I just wanted somewhere to display them so I can pick and choose what I want to wear. And
That's a good idea. I like how they're on steps. Like, you know, just like on display.
yeah, I sort of had to extend it a bit more because there was so much more clothing to the game. And see how I've used the clocks up here in this area.
Yep. Notice you do have a lot
Not
of
many-
clocks around. That's actually a nice feature.
And then this is the first time, like, I had this fountain here without the water beds, and then I decided to keep my design but somehow incorporate the water beds. So this was my first attempt at using the water beds.
That fountain being underneath the water is actually a smart idea. I haven't seen that yet. Looks awesome. And this is why I think that viewing as many people's islands as possible, you get to see, you know, the person's, I guess, how would you say it? The personality come out.
We come this way.
Yep.
We'll come back to the dugger box. Yeah, well, this is me. I can tell you a story about nearly everything that I've built.
Oh wow.
So down here you've got an area so it's for winter. So you've got a fire back on the back of you and the front of you. So this is sort of the winter area.
This looks, and there's your clock and the plushies.
There's my clock.
Yeah.
You gotta have to know the time. You gotta know the time.
This mantle is amazing. I love how this looks.
Yep.
Oh, you even got the kettle on the ground
Yep.
for a
Ready
cuppa.
to put on. And then this is basically the way into, so you've got a few, you know, and see how I've used bedside tables.
Uh-huh. That's a very smart idea. Yeah, so you can put your cuppa on top.
Because this area was only quite small anyway and narrow, so.
Yeah.
And then you've got this
Got the tacker
tucker
box.
box. So if you come to the side, you've got the tables where she comes out, you know, she does come and wander. And then you've got this back area for the lounging.
Complemented with waterfalls. I like it.
When he said he was going to bring out a tucker box, I had this, like, this was already built up. This is all natural height, really.
Yeah.
Don't look over there. That's my messy furniture shop.
Is it? All right, not looking, I promise.
Yeah, so this spot was always here, and I thought, oh, that's a perfect spot for the tucker box. So
Yeah.
I kept the height. And then and I liked the look of the water beds. Okay.
I think the water beds are one of the most amazing additions.
It was
so
a
far.
great solution to what people were asking for. Like they wanted, they
Right.
wanted to be able to lift the water and.
Yep.
Okay. And you know what we're walking on? This was
Are they tables?
when I
Oh no, they're not.
they are tables, yeah. When I showed
Oh yeah,
'cause
they
we
are.
showed
Sorry.
Benny, we showed Benny. Benny had never seen them. This was probably one of the first times he'd seen tables being used like this, and now everybody uses them.
Well,
And the reason I've got the flowers next to it, so Melvin, because Melvin won't walk on that.
oh, you won't?
Nope. So he's got to come down here in the flowers.
Oh, because they probably think that it's non-walkable service. All right. This is great. This is very smart. I was looking at it. I'm thinking to myself, I wonder what that's made from. I'll wait for Spark to tell me. So thank you for that.
Yeah. And there's bedside tables next to it when you come off the bridge.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice them at the front there as well. I was too mystified about your bridge. I'm like, this is great. All right.
So this is just a furniture shop. It's a bit messy at the moment because I've been pinching things. But I like the idea that you can actually see what things look like.
Yeah, have them on display. That's a smart idea. Yep.
So this is just his little area.
And it's cool because you've got them per theme as well.
Well, I was trying to put
For the most
two
part.
or three different. Yeah, I was trying to put 2 or 3 themes together because there was so much furniture. I'm like, oh my god, how do you display it all? But
That's a
I
good
have
way
to
to do
just
it.
tidy it up a bit.
Yeah. This
And
is
then when
cool.
I had friends over, I built this dock with, this was before the sailboats come in, but we knew the sailboat was coming in, so I sort of wanted to keep the same sort of vibe that I had with the other dock, but a little bit different. So I just sort of had a bigger opening.
This is a nice little area. I like your use of the logs as well. Log fence. Very
So
subtle.
not too busy. And this is just another viewing dock of the town, because when you look here, and that's why everything's lowered in the front, so you could see out if you're standing here.
Oh, I do. Nice. All right. Give me a sec here.
And feel free, if you ever want to come over, you're welcome to come over anytime.
Let me grab a
We're
photo
always
of you
playing.
guys. Hang on. The only thing I love how I'm able to take photos, but because the name tags are on,
Yeah.
they sort of blur out. So I try and take a photo before it happens, and it doesn't always work, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right. I had to get a photo of you guys.
Oh, and in real life, I'm not a blonde.
You're not. Sparky's
I'm a
grey,
redhead.
right? Yeah. Oh, you're redhead.
Yeah.
I'm a redhead.
Aw.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
Well,
absolutely
it's-
awesome.
Okay. What's the time? Oh, it's still all right, I guess.
Well, you can actually. So the good thing is now we've seen a lot of this through the day. We're actually seeing the ambient lighting and how it pops with the surroundings, and how everything is complementing, you know, the placeable items.
Yeah. We'll go have a look at while it's night time.
Yeah.
I'll get you to come and have a look at the. So this was my town. This was my first town
Center?
square. Yeah, town centre. When I first did it, I really didn't like the way Irwin was to the side of it, but it's grown on me now. I actually like it.
Well, you know what? You've done a... See, if you look straight down here, the building is perfectly lined up. And for a lot of people that do watch this, they're gonna enjoy that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's perfect here. And even if you come back up to the bridge, the walking bridge over the trade skill area, it actually doesn't look too bad from up here.
Yeah. The LED is awesome. The way this game renders that, it makes objects in the very far just blend perfectly.
So, like I said, you got to remember, this was all my first sort of buildings. And then when the guest houses came out, because we've got 4 kids, we had 4 kids under 5, so we've got 2 girls, and one of them is G'day Mate, so she's played with us. So her house is to the left of us. My other daughter's is on the right. Her pool is not full of water because she hasn't played yet.
Right.
But if we come and have a look at... So this is G'day Mate's house.
I got a little lap pool on the side. I like it.
And this was one of my first hot tubs that I played with because I thought, you know, the girls needed their own hot tub.
4 beds as well.
And I've only just added. Yeah, I put the we can sleep in them once we come down. I'll show you this at night. So they were telling me that they wanted, well, I wanted this little area, so this is what I created for my girls. A little fairy garden.
It's nice. It's peaceful.
And the youngest daughter, she's into dogs, like she does animal science.
Gotcha.
At uni. She's a soldier. She's the one in the army as well. So, yeah, she does, she likes dogs, so I put dogs everywhere.
I see the statues up there. Oh, yep. This is a nice area. I love the utilization of the waterfalls as well, because you get that water. For me, there's water sound all the way around down here, and that's calming. Well,
so this is where you and PJ could end the night down here, and there's even a bed over there to snuggle up in.
You've even got a nice backdrop against the bed as well.
I had to change my design for that. Actually, I had to push it all out one to fit the fairy lights in. So we can sleep here.
I've always fancied a waterbed.
Yeah, I didn't really have to change my design much on this hot tub to add those fairy lights and the greenery wall.
The fairy lights are one of the best additions of the update. Oh, Sally's
and
here.
Yes, I've still got Sally visiting because I haven't sort of. If I get motivated to do something, I'm just going to jump over these fish. If I get motivated to do something, I'll do it. But sometimes it takes me a while, and yeah, Sally's a bit. I know the location I'm going to put up, but
yeah,
I just got to get the time and the motivation to do it. But we'll go have a look at Irwin.
Old mate Irwin.
and this is, once you jump this fence, it's free range from here. The only thing that's in the fenced is the frilly from down in the mines that Sparky bought up and decided to keep a present for me.
Oh. He's angry.
He is angry.
ant.
And then my red doggo's just in here. This is not going to be his location.
Oh,
I've just sat him in here because I put the bandstand where I was going to actually put him. I was going to put him over there on that little island, but I decided to put the bandstand.
wow. I love red doggos in this game.
So this is all free range. Everything sort of walks around. The chickens.
Oh, look, yep.
All the eggs.
All the eggs. It looks familiar. My wife with her like 70 plus chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Chooks galore.
Couple of pleeps. I've only got a couple of pleeps and a couple of wombats. I'll probably put another little animal place somewhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah, from here, like, it looks nice looking over at the tucker box with the waterfall.
Absolutely. That one's got a good spot.
And then eventually I'll put a bridge here in front of me here, going over the furniture, because he loves coming over, so I'm going to put a bridge so he can just walk across eventually.
Yeah.
So all this is my whole vibe on the town. Oh, look, I haven't mowed in here. I should have mowed. So this is just like family, just a family. I'm big on family. I always have been, so I made like a big table for families to come and
have a seat, relax. I like it.
And then this walkway, this is as far, so this is the entrance to whatever this area. So this is as far as I've gone this side of town.
Uh-huh.
This is basically where I've stopped.
Then comes the wild.
Yes.
I like the way you've put the your fish on the sides here. It's a nice little a viewing walkway, as I would call it.
And I've got mangrove, like the mud all around, and this was done, well, probably around Christmas time when I moved, like put mud on the other side, and look at those crocs. It's taken forever for the mangroves to grow. Forever.
Interesting. Yeah, because for them to grow naturally, they should have. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how. So maybe I've got to re-dig it again. Maybe.
Just laughed at me.
Are you using your chainsaw, Sparky?
I think he's lawn mowing for you.
Sparky doesn't, like, sometimes he'll come over, but he doesn't, he doesn't do much. Like, we play more than anything. We have fun. We don't usually build. The bandstand, I haven't done anything with the bandstand. So this is what happens when you just place it down and
let it go. I like your use of campfires all the way around.
I don't know if I'm keeping them or not. I don't know. I'm just trying to get motivated. I do know what I want to do. That's why this is all dirt.
It's going to be a matter of getting it done. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to block this area because they do tend to want to go down there. They're envious. They stand here looking down.
They're admiring it.
I've got to make it a bit more private down there. And as you can see, I'm not about symmetry. Like, I've tried to put my ideas on paper and try and make it square or even, but it just doesn't work.
It's not easy to do that. It takes a lot of time and effort.
I just want to be more natural. I want to use what's already here.
Yep. That's not a bad thing at all.
Okay. So when we first started playing, I didn't know when you tried to place a bridge that you couldn't have rocks or anything. So I tried to put a bridge here and I couldn't work out why I couldn't do it because sort of, you know, the land stopped here.
Yeah.
So I ended up just dirt printing until it worked.
Made your own.
Because it wouldn't work. I couldn't work it out. Now, my son set up, when we first started playing, my son set up he gave me a field of like 20 plots of farmland, and he had a campsite over here. So I've put a camp, like a guest house over here for him. So this is my farm. Not the original farm that he set up for me, but, you know, I remember when he gave me like 20 plots, I nearly cried because it was taking me forever to do one by one. I'm like, this is so
too
stupid.
much.
So this is, yeah. So it's a pinwheel. This design is a pinwheel. And then you've got, so that's always been the original farm, and then I decided to put seasonal stuff out the back here with an open garage with the tractors.
That's smart.
So that's more, yeah, that's more seasonal stuff out the back there.
Gotcha. The safe stuff behind, the seasonal here.
I'll go back down. We'll go back this way, actually. So this is just a little orchard area, and the grass farm right next to it. And this little workstation is just like my little fairy bread factory. So instead of just having one location on the island that you could do trade skill, I decided to break it up a bit.
Yeah.
So this is where I come down, and this is where I make fairy bread.
Funny, people ask what the hell fairy bread is, and when you try and explain it to them, they're like, that is the most amazing thing that you can make out of food. Because it does, it looks cool. Trust us Aussies to do that.
And this is just the grass farm.
Get your greens.
And this is the pathway that we first walked on. So this was my, and I still use this. This is basically where all my weapons and vehicles go.
The fish tanks is a great idea.
Don't drop anything. If you drop something, you've got to pick the fish up to pick it up. I've discovered, but so this is underwater level as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's the water's right over the other side there. It's nicely done.
And then this is my first go at a decorative garden, you could say, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You can fly over it later to have a better look.
Yeah.
But this shape of the island was sort of here. I just had to sort of tidy it up so it was a bit even. This is symmetrical. This is probably one of the first things I.
Oh wow.